Welcome back to another episode of Gurukul Online Learning Network. The song I was playing is by the famous Lata Mangeshkar ji from India, and it's called Na Jeona. I'd recommend you this song. And through learning music, it's always important that you listen. Welcome back to another episode of Gurukul Online Learning Network's Music Department's Sitar Lessons. I am Nishit Dey. Today we are going to learn about a few actions that you're going to merge with the right hand. Today's actions is going to be concentrated on the left hand. So as you can see the fretting system that I will discuss shortly, it is important to know how to keep the left hand on the sitar. There are marks that will appear, one of the major problems of sitar. I call it my pet line because just like I would care for my pet, I also have to care for my lines on my index and my middle fingers. Let me guide you on exactly where the lines should be. So if I place my hand like this, you will be able to see that there are two corners of your fingertip. So your line should be aligned to both the corners, and I would suggest that you start from the left side, and there is going to be a slight cut which is going to cause some kind of pain. Sometimes it's going to be unbearable, but bear with me, bear with the sitar, and it is going to give you a much higher reward. And that too goes for the middle finger, even though the middle finger line will come a bit later. So we're going to learn today on how to place your left hand. So I have an interesting theory for this. Provided that you have your sitar at 45 degrees angle or shoulder height, and then you have the perfect position with the crisscross leg, and then you have the dara stroke done, it's time now to do the same practice, but now on the sa fret. So this is the sa fret, as I mentioned earlier, the one right here in the middle, right before the gap for the re fret. So what you do is, and this is very important that you understand exactly what I'm telling you, right as we compensated with the mizrab for the angle of the sitar, we have to do the same for the left hand. So you place your sitar first, then extend your hand fully like this, and then I want you to kind of stretch your palm of your hand to the left. So this is one angle, and the other angle is this. So it remains like this, and then you bring it left like this. So it's gonna look like this. And thirdly, it may seem like that I'm holding the sitar like this, but actually it's like this. That is going to give you the best control. So it's almost as if you are holding a newborn's head like this. Having that said, I'm going to bring this closer to the sitar like this, and I'm going to hold it like this. So there are multiple angles and multiple questions that are going to arise in your mind just as you start to do this, but it's okay because practice makes perfect, and this does not have to be perfect in a day. Like the other stuff that I have showed you, this also will have a customized holding position for you, but this technique will act as a back to the drawing board kind of a theory. So every time you think you mess something up, you just bring it back. So also one more important thing is in Imtiaz Khani sitar that you have this space. You need to have this space because that is going to help you pull later, and it's going to be extremely important. So what will happen is, if I divide the line, if I draw an imaginary line like the equator right through the middle of the sitar, we are going to place the thumb in the bottom 25%, and it's not going to be like this. It's not going to be like this, it's going to be like this. So you have the thumb completely extended like this. It has to be stretched out. It cannot be bent. If it has to be bent, it has to bend the other way, which will become very natural for you. So I place my thumb in the bottom 25% like this, and then I have like a semicircle bend on my fingers. So like this. A common problem at first will be that your finger will try to bend like this, I cannot even do this naturally because I've been playing for almost 17 years now. But that was also a problem that I faced when I started out the sitar, and it took me quite a few years. But I'm here so that you don't need that kind of time to fix this very normal problem. So 3 points. First, it's a semicircle over here. Second, you hold your hand like a child's head. And third, the thumb has to go to the bottom 25% of what? If this entire half circle is considered 100%, we only need the bottom 25 to hold that sitar, and that too because we need this space here. So you put your hand on the sitar like this, and you kind of pull towards your shoulder. So it's one very crucial information here is that you hold the sitar right before the fret. You hold any stringed fretted instrument. If you want a sound, you have to hold it right behind the fret, not over it, not far away from it, but right behind. In fact, the way I hold it, I can feel just a slight touch of the fret on the right corner of my finger. So the right corner, the corner that is close to my middle finger, you're supposed to feel that over here. So you do this again, extended hand, you take it towards the left, not bending it up or down, straight left, and you put it over here. Instantly you will know that your the sitar line, it wants to go through the left corner. It cannot be like it has to be like a semicircle line, which will eventually be the case, but it cannot be a diagonal line. So we are doing this because we have to compensate for the 45-degree angle that's here. So eventually it's going to become straight. And one more information that I want to give you is that after you sit, you have to hold it and pull towards it, towards your shoulder. You have to make sure that you get to hold sitar in a way that even if you lose your thumb, it's still going to be there. So what I want to say is the grip will not be like this, because it's going to get very tired and it's going to hurt even more. So we are going to make sure that the thumb, the only role the thumb will really have is just give you around 15 to 20% push force or for the grip, but mostly it will just be there to maintain the angle. So the angle does not change. But eventually the most important thing is that you're pulling towards your shoulders like this. So having that said, if you think that this is done, the thing that you have to do is you do the previous exercise of da 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 ra 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 with all your force. It doesn't have to be, again, it does not have to be a brilliant sound or a very melodious sound. It just has to be a very powerful sound. So I'm going to show you a demonstration of what I want. So from the very beginning, here I just sat with the sitar, I pick it up and I do the crisscross legged. I'm going to move my shawl just like this, and I place the sitar on the curve over here, and then I fill in the gap over here with my thigh. I sit straight. I make sure that the sa fret is parallel to my shoulder or shoulder height. I do this and then this, and then I bring it over here. I make sure that the thumb is covering the bottom 25%, and I also make sure that I have a substantial gap between the fretboard and the bottom of this skin area over here. And then I make sure that my index finger is pushing the string towards the fret, and then I have contact, and then I make sure that it's as close to the fret as possible but not over it, and then I pull the sitar through my finger with my finger towards my shoulder. It doesn't have to be completely attached, it just has to come close. Also, one more reason why I do this is for added better control. So the further your sitar is away from you, the further your triceps are going to have to work hard to keep your hand stable. But the closer you have in a natural position, just like your walk, your triceps are relaxed because it's a very natural position. So my left shoulder is not extended even one bit. And once that is done, now it's time for stroking. So this you have to add to the 15 minutes or 20 minutes of practice that I stated earlier. And again, even for this exercise, the seating position, the tuning, the right hand movement and the left hand holding position is going to work simultaneously. So no extra time needed in fixing all the 4 issues together, because it's happening together anyways. So let me know if this is working out, and slowly you're going to develop a line. Also, it's important that while you develop a line, you do have to do it at least 1 time a day, if not twice, but the more the merrier. Your line might disappear after you take a shower or get your hands wet, but it's going to slowly be permanent. More on finger lines later. Till now, I hope everything is very clear to you. I hope the lessons are really helping you out. If you need additional help or any questions, feel free to mail me at my given email address. That's all for today. See you on the next class. Thank you.